Hey everyone, welcome to Art Amore's free World Art Day workshop. And today we are going to be doing a pen illustration. I'm going to be using a craft paper. Before we get into the sketching and the illustration part, I would like to extend a warm welcome to everybody who has taken out the time to join today. We are grateful for you and your presence and for supporting us on all our social media platforms. My name is Rachaita and I am the founder at Artamore. And we do a lot of different type of workshops. We have workshops where there are kits available and we ship you the kits. We have workshops that you can join online. We have our studio in Mumbai where you can do our workshops offline, some of them. And we really look forward to doing the illustration with you guys today. Thank you so much again for joining. We'll just wait a couple more seconds for a few more people to join in, and then we'll begin. Till then, I will quickly brief you with what all materials I'm going to need today for the illustration. Now, if you don't have any of these materials, it's okay. Just use the closest substitute that you have for this, and you should be good to go. It's a very fun, lively session, and we're going to keep it as conversational as possible. I hope you all are really excited about it. The session will be roughly about 45 to 60 minutes. We are going to do a small illustration using pens. And yeah, we will shortly start in a couple of seconds. Just waiting for more people to join in. All right. A lot of you are already here. And you can grab any paper that you have, if you don't have such craft papers. So craft papers are basically papers that are like, these brown in color, have a little bit of texture on them. So if you don't have this, you can just use any regular paper. That's also fine. You can use any colored paper also. Okay, so I have this gray cardstock, a thick cardstock paper. So you can use something like that. If you don't have that, you can use a black paper. But if you're using a black paper, you'll need a white pen to do the illustration. So that's that. You can use any light colored paper on which a black pen is visible. So that's going to be great. Again, all of you who've joined in a little late, welcome to all of you. My name is Rachaita, and we're going to be doing a landscape illustration today with mountains and trees and coconut trees and moon and clouds and the sea and all of those really fun elements. A happy World Art Day to all of you. Thank you again for joining and supporting us. Let's begin quickly with the pens that I'm using today. I've already talked about the paper. If you don't have this paper, you can use any regular sketchbook paper or even a normal A4 printer paper is fine. The size I'm using is A4. You can use a smaller, bigger, anything, any size of paper. You'll need a pencil and an eraser, a scale to kind of sketch the landscape, and you'll need a couple of different sizes of pens. If you don't have different nib sizes, that's okay. Just even a normal, ball pen is fine to do the illustration. I am using these fine tip pens, which are from a brand called Uni. So Uni is the brand, and Unipin fine liners come in a set of like 5 to 6 different sizes. We'll be using 0.5 size mostly, and wherever I will change the size for smaller or more intricate detailing, I will let you know then and there. Again, so thanks again for joining. Super excited. Let's begin. We're going to start by drawing a rectangle on our pages. So just leave about a few inches from either sides. I'm just gonna get all this out of the way. All right, and just leave, let's say, I think 5 centimeters. So if you're using an A4 paper, just leave 5 centimeters from either sides. Okay, same from this side. and just draw a straight line for the sides of the rectangle. I'll go really slow. You guys can catch up with me. I'll keep the pace a little slow only. The pencil work has to be really light, so I'm drawing it very lightly, but you can hear my instructions and do it, listening to that. I'm not going to draw very dark because otherwise I won't be able to rub it later. So 5 centimeters from either sides you need to leave and just draw the lines. On the vertical side of the page. And now what we are going to do is we are going to leave 5 centimeters from the bottom as well. Okay, so this is the bottom of my page and I'm going to leave 5 centimeters from the bottom as well. Okay, and draw a horizontal line. So we are just creating the frame of our illustration. Okay, trying to draw the lines a little darker if you guys can see, but never mind, I'll be doing it on top of this with the pen as well, so you'll be able to see it very distinctly. So now if you measure the center portion, the box that we have, so we have not drawn any line on the top and we're going to keep it that way. So just on the sides and on the bottom we have drawn lines. And now what we're going to do is we're going to find the measurement of the center box that we have. Okay, so it's roughly 11 centimeters for me. I'm going to divide it in half, which will be about 5.5. Okay, so just take your compass and measure out that 5.5 on the compass. And again, leave about 5 centimeters from the top. And we are going to draw a line here as well. And mark the midpoint of this line. Okay, so it will be at 5.5 centimeters, which will be the midpoint, right? So basically, we have left 5 centimeters from the left, right, top, and bottom, created a rectangle on our page. And now at the top of it, what we are going to do is just mark the midpoint, and we'll mark the midpoint on the bottom as well. And create a straight, very soft line, only visible to yourself. You don't need to show it anywhere else. If you guys can see, a very soft line in the center. This is just to understand what the center of your layout looks like. Okay, the rectangle is divided exactly in half, and so that we can place the elements in such a way that it's all balanced and the left and right looks equal. We're going to not need the compass. Let's begin with the illustration part now, the fun part. And I'm going to zoom in for this part so you guys can just focus on the rectangle now. Okay, so this is my rectangle, right? Now we're going to not outline the rectangle as of now. We don't need to outline the rectangle. We will do that step at the end, because there are a lot of elements that kind of come outside the rectangle. So we'll have to draw that first and then we'll do the outline. So let's start. I'm going to start by sketching the mountains first. The mountains are the easiest part. Okay. You guys can sketch it with me. Okay, so we have two mountains here. And then we have the moon here, for which we'll need the compass. So just, take any small measurement. Do we start from the middle to start the mountains? Not really. It's on the top half of the rectangle. So that's where I have, if you guys can see, this is my measurement of the rectangle, and this is where I've started. Okay, the mountains. The measurement for the box is basically just leave 5 centimeters from all the 4 sides and you'll get a rectangle in the center. Okay. And so that's the mountains. And for the moon here, you're just going to take any random measurement, a small measurement. I've taken 1.5 centimeters and just draw a circle on the top left. Okay, on the top left, just draw a full circle right now. Right now, we are not gonna erase anything, just a full circle. That's all that you have to draw. All right, let's move to the next bit. Now, you need to do 2 lines at the bottom. Okay, now this is exactly the half. Okay, so this is the half. The top half has the mountains, the lower half is what I'm talking about. And in the lower half, you'll just draw 2 straight lines. Draw it roughly, don't draw with a scale. You don't need to draw it that meticulously. Okay, just 2 straight lines. And that's it. That's like, all the drawing on the right side. Now, if you're not comfortable drawing directly with, the pen, you can use a pencil first, but I am going to start drawing directly with the pen because if I draw with the pencil, you guys might not be able to see that much. Okay. So now just pay attention to how I am starting. So I'm starting. So these 2 lines I've drawn for the reference of where I am placing my pen. So I'm placing my pen just a little left from these lines and a little lower somewhere here. Okay. Under this line somewhere here. And I am doing my first leaf. Okay. So this is the center vein of my first leaf. I'm using a 0.07, 0.7 nib size. It's a thick size enough for the leaf. Okay, that's my first vein. And now I'm going to do the leaves for this particular vein. Okay, the leaves are very interesting. You really have to be very loose with your strokes. So what you have to do is just be wiggly like this. That's it. Be very wiggly with your strokes like that. Okay. So this is the center leaf, the one on the left, and then we'll do one on the right. Don't have a very defined shape to the leaves. It will not look natural. Okay. So kind of just be a little loose with your strokes. Okay, like that. Go with the flow, enjoy the process. Really be free when you draw the lines. And okay, I'm trying to use a darker pen so you guys can see better. This is much better. Okay, so just keep on doing that. And now we're going to overlap a leaf. Now, so for the overlapping leaf, what we are going to do is we'll leave a little bit of bigger space and draw the leaf like this. And then in the space between these two leaves, we will draw another leaf. Okay, so that's how you draw an overlapping leaf. Let's go ahead and finish the ones on the left. Be very casual with your strokes. Don't think about it too much. Okay, so that's our first leaf ready. Yeah, so it needs to be as dark as this. If yours is looking very thin and fragile, then probably you can darken it, but you can take that call on your own. Like, it's not compulsory to do it as such. Okay, so that's our first one. And now for the second one, what we are going to do is, from this origin point where we have done it, we are going to branch out one more stem, just like that. Okay, it's a short one. And then we will do the leaves for that. Okay, be very, very loose with your line work. You don't really need to think and draw, as I like to say it. Be natural with your movements. Okay. So you can also overlap leaves like that. Be creative. Like, you don't even have to follow my instructions. If you feel, oh no, I don't want to draw the leaves like this, I want to draw something else, I want to draw a monstera leaf, I want to draw a neem leaf, I want to draw a gulmohar leaf, anything is fine. Do whatever you feel like doing. I am just here to like kind of guide you on how to do this exact illustration, but if you have a particular way that you want to approach it, feel free to bring out your creativity on your illustrations. Okay, that looks great. Looks really like, natural how the leaves fall on top of each other in nature itself. So great going, I think. Let's branch out one more stem here. So we're going to branch out the stem from here, and it will go up like that. Okay, towards the sky. That's it. Again, a very short stem. We're not gonna have a very big one here. And don't do smooth lines. Like, be natural, be a little flowy with your hand movements. Okay. Keep doing them. How many ever leaves that you want to draw. All right. So that looks great. So I'm going to finish wherever we have these types of leaves first, and then I'll show you the next type of leaf that you have to do. So we have one more leaf that we are going to do, and it's going to be a little different this time. So we have draw a shorter stem like this again. Okay, again from the origin point, and then you will not do it all the way. So you'll disconnect it here and move a little left and a little up, a little left and a little up, and then, so this is the point. Okay, little left and a little up, and then continue the stem. All right, so that's how you're going to do it. Now again, let's start with the leaves. Okay. Now for this particular stem, the leaves are really close to each other. So keep that in mind. Okay. Just do a few leaves and we'll do a few on the other side as well. Thick, thin, have a little varying shapes. Like that. Not all leaves in the nature are made the same, right? So that's that. Okay. And now what you're going to do is, in this lower stem, you're going to draw a leaf like this. Okay. Kind of shows that the branch has twisted and then it's moving forward. All right. So that's what we are trying to show. Again, continue with the leaves. Okay, looks great. We'll add one more branch here. Yeah, I'll go a little slow. I'll just wait a couple of seconds till you guys finish this step. But for those of you who finish, you just need to add one more branch here as well. Like that. Okay. It's the same kind of leaves. You guys can really do it yourself. You don't even need to look up on the screen. Like that. Okay. Keep doing the same kind of leaves. Okay, and make it really natural, like how some leaves are on top of each other, some leaves are at the back. So kind of maintain that uh, natural look when you do the leaves. Okay, so that's our first type of leaf. We're now going to do the second type of leaf. We'll keep it a little less since I feel this is already quite wholesome and kind of looks decent enough. So we'll just add probably one more leaf here. Okay, so for this leaf, what we're going to do is create a V shape here like this. Okay, wherever you have space, you can do this leaf. Not necessarily you have to do it at this exact spot. So do this leaf here and then create a middle vein like that. Okay, a little S shape if you would like to go it that way. And now pay attention. We are going to create the outer skeleton of the leaf, which is a little like, you have to create a wavy line, so to say. Like this. Okay. And now we're just going to create sections. You can create sections randomly anywhere. Okay. And then once you've done the sections, just draw a few strokes like this and keep them in varying lengths. Okay. Not all of the same length. Okay. So that's our next leaf. Now we were supposed to do the same kind of leaf here as well, but I don't think we need it, so I'm going to leave it here only. Let's not clutter it way too much. What's not needed, if you want, the original place was somewhere here. Okay, I think we can add it. Let's try. Okay, so we draw the middle vein and then that. Okay, yeah, a short leaf, so to say. Create the sections and then the highlights. Okay. Keep the middle vein a middle vein slightly thicker so that it's identifiable. Okay, so it doesn't mix with everything else. So that's the most complex part of our entire sketch. Now everything is really simple. We're going to start with a few coconut trees. So this first line that we have drawn will act as a base for the coconut trees. Now the coconut trees, how you're going to do, create a small trunk in a tooth-like structure like this. Okay, so let's create all the structures first, and they have to be very thin. Okay, not too thick, and of varying heights as well. Okay, so I'm doing about 5 of them. Okay, all of different heights. Color the full thing black. The trunk is supposed to be all black. All right, and now we'll need a smaller tip size. I'm switching to a fine tip pen here, and we're going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 such lines for each of them. Even if they overlap, it's okay. Got it? But all of these have to be inside the rectangle, okay? Not like this bunch here. Once you have the 5 strokes, all of us know how to do the strokes of the leaves on a coconut tree. Just like that. Draw the strokes. We've all seen coconut trees, so I think this part should be simple. Just a few strokes like that. Okay. I'll show you on this tree here. So on the top, you go like this. Okay. And on the bottom, you go like this. That's it. Do this for all the lines. You can be really quick with this. No need to spend a lot of time. Okay. Those are our coconut trees. You can just do one right now so that you remember the technique, and then you can finish the rest after the session. Okay, let's get to the mountains now. So we have 30 more minutes and we have like a tree at the top here, the mountains, the sea, and all the white highlights to do. So we're gonna have to pick up a little pace. All right, so let's go ahead and first outline the full mountain. Okay, so that's our mountain 1. And this is our mountain 2. Right? Now, the mountains are a little tricky. What you have to do is, you have to create these random lines first. Okay, create them anywhere, however you like. You can do exactly how I am doing also. Okay, create these random lines. We'll do the other mountain side by side as well. Just random jagged lines. Okay, that's it. Leave the bottom portion here and leave the bottom portion here open as well. Don't do anything there. Okay. Now, once you've done the lines, what you'll do is you will create a plateau kind of a structure like this. And then underneath, you will draw these lines. Like that. Okay. Like this. Make it look natural, like how, mountains have those rough edges. The lines don't have to be straight. create these lines like this. Okay, so the entire thing you have to fill it up with such lines only. Like that. Okay, so kind of looks like actual cuts and slopes and all the dents that a mountain has. So that's what we are trying to replicate here. Okay. And you can do such few small dashes like this randomly at different places. The more natural you make it look, the more interesting it will look. The more you try to like play it by the book and understand how and where you want to do the lines, it will not really look that great. Okay, so make it more natural, make it look where you've not given it a lot of thought. Okay, so that's our first mountain, and we're going to repeat the same thing for the second mountain. So for the second mountain, there's no explanation as such, so I will quickly finish it. You guys can just follow, or if you would like, do the second mountain at your own pace. Completely up to you. And also, small request, whenever you finish this painting, please click a nice photo with all the pens and stationery and whatever you've used for this, and post it on your social media. You can tag us at artamore.loveforart, and don't forget to post it on World Art Day. You can post it on your feed, on your stories, whatever you are comfortable with. But do post it. We would love to repost it on our platform as well. Okay, we almost done with this mountain. Okay, that's that. I think it looks great. I don't want to overdo it. So that's a mountain, and the last bit using the black pen is the tree on top. Now, this particular tree is a little tough to do. That's why I've kept it at last. So first we'll do the branches. Branches, again, you have to make it look really natural. So I'm not gonna be very distinct about how to do the branches. Just branch it out as naturally as possible. Okay, so those are my branches. I think looks good enough. Okay, and now for the leaves, okay, pay like understand how I'm going about the leaves. Okay, let me zoom in. Yeah. So you again have to do like really loose strokes, but it's a little different this time. So you have to do it like this, crosses. Okay, I'll show you how you'll build that here. That small crosses you have to do. So even in pen illustrations like the one that we are doing right now, there are a lot of different techniques for every element. Okay, we try to understand the texture that the object and the element has, and then we use a very particular kind of a technique to replicate that texture on our uh, illustrations. Okay, if you go with a smaller pen, a smaller nib size, you will get an even thinner detailing, and just build these crosses around the branches. Just repetitive strokes you have to do. The more random and the more unthoughtfully, or non-thoughtfully you do this, the more fun it will be. Okay. All right. So that's our tree on top. And now let's go ahead and do the border first, and lastly we'll do the white lines. Okay. Okay, so for the border, nothing much, just you have to outline your box. Now if you would like to make it a slightly thicker box, you can do that so that it stands out from your regular pen work. Okay, I'll go over the sleeves a little bit later. I'll do the straight edges first. Okay. And then the bottom. Okay. And let's do the top. Okay. In this portion, you'll have to be like really careful so that you don't go over any of the leaf lines. Okay, so that looks great. And then we'll do this line. Just freehand. Darken the mountain lines a little bit so that they stand out. Just the top lines, okay? All right, and now let's get to the bits with the white pen. So I'm using this white ball pen again from Uniball. Okay, same brand that I used for the black pen. And if you don't have this, you can also use like a white jelly roll pen if that's something that you have access to. It's not visible when you do it, but once it dries, the white pen looks great. Okay, so just doing the okay, that's the moon. And we'll do the cloud line. Okay, another cloud line here. We have one more cloud line here. That kind of merges with the tree line and then emerges from this side like that. Okay, and we have one more cloud line here as well. Like this. Okay, so yeah, those are our cloud lines. This is the sea where we'll do just a few lines to show the waves. All right. And then the best part is the dots in the sky. Okay. So for that, all you have to do is first we'll do a few dots. The stars in the sky, we'll do two ways. We'll do a few dots. Randomly, anywhere you can place them. Don't have to think too much for this step. Okay, so those are the dots. And now we will create the shining stars. Okay. The shining stars are supposed to be done a little differently. So you create a small plus sign like this. Okay. Create a small plus sign like this and then create a web around it like this. Okay. Again, I'll show you the plus and then create a web around it like that. I'll show it to you on a paper also if you guys can't see here. Just give me a moment. Okay. So that's our complete illustration. If you don't have the white pen, you can just do the full thing with the black, it's okay. Just use whatever you have. All right. So I'll just show you the stars once again with a little bigger detail. So you create a plus first, okay? Then create a web around it like this, okay? Color the full thing. And then just extend the edges with the pen like that, okay? That's how you have, that's how you're gonna do the stars. So that's our entire illustration. Let me just zoom out. Yep. So that's our entire illustration. And I hope you guys were able to do it with me. If not, we will share a YouTube link with you where you can watch the video at your own pace and do it at your own pace. So I hope you guys enjoyed making this illustration. It was a wonderful experience for me, for sure. And I look forward to having you all in all the different workshops that we do at Artomore. We have a lot of different workshops like texture art workshop that's coming up. Then we have a terrazzo workshop, we have lippen workshop, we have mirror mosaic workshop. We do a lot of fluid art workshops, pen illustration workshops, watercolor workshops, acrylic painting, and literally, so many different art styles, art forms, contemporary, traditional, modern, all of that. So you can follow us on our Instagram handle at artamore.loveforart. I'm going to type it in the chat box. And this is the same handle that you can tag us at on Instagram so that, we can repost your work and see what you guys have made in the workshop. Thank you so much for joining. It was lovely having all of you. My name is Rachaita, and it was great celebrating the World Art Day with all of you. Thanks again, and have a great weekend ahead.